looks pretty accurate to the clothing he was wearing that day. Hey, what's happening everybody? This is Royce from Pedal Metal. Welcome to my channel. Tonight's video is going to be checking out this 1/12 scale Porsche 550 Spyder, and it is the James Dean version, and we are coming up on his anniversary of his death, which was September 30th of 1955. I thought these were really cool. This is a figure and the car itself from KK Scale, and we will do an unboxing right now. I'm really thrilled about this car, and it looks really nice already. What I had seen of it for what I paid for it, I didn't pay too much for it. So I'll go more into details on price and the figure and all that here coming up. Let's go ahead here. We'll go ahead and start unboxing a while. I'll show you. This is how it comes in the mail. That's the box design. Pretty nice. Buckled a little bit on the top there, but it came from the seller in really good condition, packed really well, which is nice. That's always a plus. And then here, of course, the figure I had to get directly from Italy for whatever reason. You just can't get these in the US, not right now. Hopefully someday they'll have them. The Miami Vice 1/18 scale figures are really cool too, of Crockett and Tubbs, and I've seen some other ones too that are really nice in 1/18 scale. But when I saw that they had the James Dean in this scale, I had to try to get a hold of one just so I could do the review. And I paid a little more than I wanted to for it, but you just can't get them for whatever reason. Get my little, let's get something to get this flap up. I don't have a tongue depressor out here. Usually tongue depressors work really well to flip these flaps without damaging them. So it looks like you do get a little side tonneau cover panel. You can see it there for the cockpit. This thing's huge. So if you're not familiar, what is it? What did I say it was? Yeah, I almost said 1/10 scale. It's 1/12 scale. I have 1/10 stuck in my head because there's all these rumors about the Candy Striper car coming out from Hot Wheels. People were saying 1/10 scale. It's actually not 1/10. It's not 1/12. It's 1/18 scale. But to give you an idea, I'm going to be doing a video after this one of all my James Dean cars together, and it's going to be 1/64, 1/43, 1/18, and the 1/12 scale, which is this. So if you can see, compared to the scale in my hand, it's fairly large. So here we can open the figure out too. I cheated yesterday. I did pre-open this one yesterday just because the curiosity got the best of me. The car I have never opened before, but the figure I thought was really, really well done for what I paid for it. It's a very, very heavy cast resin of some sort, I believe, and he's dressed like from the famous photo from the day he was killed in the car crash when he's gassing up. So he's got the light blue trousers, white v-neck t-shirt, and he's putting gloves on. Now in the photo, the famous photo, he has he does have the cigarette, looks like, hanging out, but he does have sunglasses on. But it's pretty much the artist who did the figure. I almost said action figure, but you know what I mean. The figure obviously went off of this rare, or not rare, but this photo, which people claim was the last photo ever taken of him, and that's actually not true at all. That was just taken on the last day. But so there's that, and looks really good. Pretty crazy. I don't know how well he'll stand with the car. He's standing pretty well there off to the side. The cigarette looks very fragile, the way they have that kind of glued on the lip there. I don't know that. Hopefully that doesn't break, but I originally thought this other figure I had bought years ago off eBay, this one's 5 inches tall. The correct one, which is this one here, is 6 inches tall. But this, I thought if I couldn't get a hold of the 6 inch tall one, I think the 5 inch tall figure would have worked pretty well with, you know, next to the Spyder. But you can see there's a pretty good difference there by 1.5 inches, I would say, almost. But now this guy slouched. He slouched over a little bit from the Rebel Without Cause figure, but he looks good standing back here at the in the background here against my Vegas sign. All right, so now what I'm going to do here is let's take this off the base, put some gloves on because I really don't want to screw this up, get finger oils all over everything. And I remember my old videos, I used to, when I'd put gloves on, people used to give me all kinds of grief about that, but people really don't get on me too much anymore about it. I think people know now, you know, some of the prices of these toys have gotten, I say toys because it's essentially what they are, they've gotten so ridiculous that you do need to take care of them. So this is die-cast metal. The doors do open on it, but the rest is static, and it is fairly heavy. So I gotta get a screwdriver here. Probably didn't really need to have gloves on for this part of it, but well, my left hand, I'm holding the car itself, so I do need to have a glove on at least for that, or I'll have it all, get it all greased up with my finger oils. All right, that's all the screws that are out. There's the base. Not a whole lot going on, but at least they tried, and the exhaust looks pretty decent. The paint job is really nice on it. Let's take off this strap. This is driving me nuts already. Take that off. So there's the panel for the side, which just snaps on there with two little buttons. This thing it's definitely bigger in person than the way it might look on video. I would say it's about maybe 12.5 inches long, perhaps, like that. Paint looks good. There's like a little flaw here on the front, not too bad. I really like the details of this, though. It looks great for what I paid. I think I paid $147 for this, and with $10 shipping. That was off of eBay. So really good deal, considering if you figure what some of these 1/18 scales are selling for now. They're getting crazy. The Hot Wheels alone wants $250 for that Candy Striper gasser it's coming out, which is crowdfunded, and that's ridiculous in my opinion. The interior, I just lost my train of thought, but the interior looks pretty good. Definitely all correct. The red. Now, I think the real car would have had a red. I don't know what I want to say. We would have had down here along this panel would have had a red piece of material attached, but they could have done a little bit better job, I think, with these faux leather straps. Looks kind of cheesy there, but I do like how down inside you can see the spare tire underneath the twin grills there. That's a nice touch. that I didn't notice before till under this bright lighting I have going on here. The placement and everything looks correct on the license plate, which of course, as you can see in my background there, I have one of the license plates. So it looks like they at least used, and here's a good reference photo, and it looks like they at least used the correct font. Everything looks good. The little bastard logo looks good. The placement of the license plate on the grills looks really good too. That's my complaint on a lot of these cars. They'll go to all the trouble to make something like this, and then they have the font wrong or the placement wrong. The other thing that's accurate with this car is that on James Dean's car, and he had one Nürburgring enameled badge, which was mounted on the left side. That is accurate, which is right here. You can see it. So it looks like they did a pretty convincing job there. As a loud tractor goes by as I'm trying to film. So you can see there, this was also taken on the last day, obviously, too, when they're headed to the race in Salinas. And the mechanic was sent from Germany by Porsche, which was, his name was Rolf Roderick, and he did survive. I think he died in a drunk driving accident in like 1980 or 81, something like that. But he had all kinds of back trouble after the accident. But so that all looks good, the placement and everything. I think I might detail up, dirty the wheels and things on it at some point. I might do a video of that if anyone's interested in seeing how I convert this to try to make it a little bit better. I might even get rid of the fake plastic leather straps there. The mirror is not even close to being accurate. The shape of the mirror should be rounded, and it's not. It's like squared off as I drop stuff here. But there you can really see how round the mirror is. And on the actual, on the KK scale, they have it, it's very squared off. It's not real bad, but it's pretty noticeable. I'm just very picky, very picky with my James Dean cars. I think the windshield looks great. Interior could be a little bit better, but for the price point, like the door handles, everything looks good on the inside. I'm going to get some better shots here, the interior. The one complaint I have when I was looking at this, when it was in the box, I'm not sure why they used two different Porsche badge. The one in the front is larger than the one in the back. I'm not sure I understand why they did that. Same with the script logo, and I'm pretty sure the real car was the same front and back, which was pretty small on like this scale here. It was basically the size of the hood badge on the handle, the hood handle on a 356. So I don't think that is accurate at all on the front here. But like I said, it's not real bad. I do have some 3D logo enamel badges. I think I might replace these and put the enamel or the 3D ones I have on. Does the steering work? Yeah, it looks like the steering. Oh, it's not really. It's kind of. When we move the steering wheel, the wheels. There they go. It's not the greatest, but. The Banjo steering wheel actually looks pretty decent. Could be better. Even my 1/18 scale Schuko actually has a real key hanging out of the ignition slot. So there's a lot you could probably be done to this to make it a little nicer. Oh, here they have stickers, it looks like, or something on here. Oh, maybe that's part of the mold. I'm gonna say maybe it looked like they had stickers on there to protect the door sills. This right here, if you're wondering, is the jack. that's inside. That's inside right here. You would put that underneath the front. These are the jack points here and here, and they're not represented very well here. They should be more like rounded, like balls sticking down. The top of that jack would go on those balls, and you just rock. You rock backwards basically, and it lifts the car up. These black circles are the horns. So I'm not sure if you can see that real well there, but that's the jack. And this top part, that receptacle there, would go in right underneath the ball hook on the front. And you just, there's a handle that goes, you can add to that front there, and basically just rock it. And the car doesn't weigh much, so it just would lift it up off the ground. Dean's car was damaged in the front. He had a little neighborhood shunt of some sort up here. So on the pictures you can see this is missing. He's missing the lens. Missing the lens right here. This turn signal, and this was all. Someone did a real bad Bondo job to try to get his car fixed up for him. And you can kind of see that on the photo here. It's missing the lens on the driver's side, and that intake is all not done very well, like whoever repaired it. So I doubt I'll go the trouble of damaging this front or anything like that, but I'm thinking of at least weathering the brake, the hub area, and kind of dirty that up would be cool. Maybe add a real metal exhaust tip. That would be pretty easy to do. The other little complaint I have is on the red spears. It should be a little bit wider. That's being really picky. Plus there should be a gold, like a yellowish gold band pinstripe edging that would border the red spears. And a good example of that is if you look at chassis number 55090, which is one of the most authentic unrestored cars in existence currently. That car was similar to this, but it has blue spears. It had a tan interior with silver, and if you look at the blue spears on that, if you Google it, it gives you a really good idea of what the pinstripes look like. This chassis number was 550-55, I think was Dean's car. So the 55th car off the assembly line, essentially. So here we can see it up on a turntable. It just barely fits on my 1/18 scale rotating stand. Actually fits a little bit better than I thought it was gonna, but boy, is this thing really cool for $147 in my opinion. Really, really awesome. And if you're a James Dean / Porsche Spyder fan, this is a must buy in my opinion. The figure looks good too. I might go in and kind of do some washouts though for some of the folds, the wrinkles on the clothing and things like that. Try to soup him up a little bit, but it's not bad at all in my opinion. I'm very, very pleased with the figure. I'm pleased with the stance of the car. I like the way, if you look at the photos, it's very accurate, the stance, the way it's kind of hunkered down a little bit. From what I read in the past, Dean actually had that car lowered. So when you see photos of it, and it does look fairly low. I'm not sure how much he had it lowered at Competition Motors in North Hollywood, California at the time, but it was definitely, it looked to me like an inch or so lower than other cars. But boy, is this thing cool. So my next video though, after this one, I think while I have this out, I'm gonna have show all my Dean cars together, and maybe some other Dean collectibles if anyone's interested in seeing that. But this KK scale is really, really cool, and their 1/18 cars are really nice as well. I'm not sure though, like the Testarossa and like the Miami Vice Daytona Spyder and the Testarossa, if they're resin cast or die cast. But this one is die cast, which is getting unusual. Most of the cars coming out of China now are resin, and they look good. I mean, don't get me wrong, they look fine. They're just, I think they're going to be a little more fragile in years to come. But I'm pleased with this car, tremendously pleased. I think they did an awesome job. It's got a few things going on there with the badging. Like I said, there, as far as I can tell, they never used two different size crests like that, or the script. There's the same front and back. I'm like 99.9% positive on that. Let me go ahead and stop it. But boy, is this thing awesome. The mirror is driving me nuts already. I'm like, I wish I knew the paint code of this car. I'd be making my own mirror and painting it to match. But boy, is this is just freaking awesome together with the figure. Another easy thing I'm probably going to do is I'll add the goldish yellow pinstripe on the outer border of the red spears. I'll probably do that as well in that video if anyone's interested in seeing that. I haven't done any customizing type of videos in a long time, but that might be interesting. Let me try to get some better shots of the interior. How cool is that? Really cool. Alright, so I think that's it for this video. That is the KK scale 1/12 scale die-cast metal 1955 Porsche Spyder, and it is the James Dean version, 130 Little Bastard. And of course I bought the figure separate, which is, wow, awesome too. Really awesome for what I paid. Super duper. So there you go. That is Trick. Really looks cool. This would look neat in some kind of like a plexiglass like display case, and even make maybe the little gas station island that would go to the passenger side of the car to you know, duplicate that scene from the day he was killed. It's pretty cool. Let's see what he would look like here without that one. Put this Made in Spain figure. It's like a vinyl figure I've had for probably 20 years. That actually doesn't look too bad with the car. I think if you didn't point out the scale difference, and maybe no one would even notice. So that looks pretty decent too. I do like the hair on him, looks pretty good, but he's vinyl, so it's kind of glossy, and actually a fairly rare action figure, and is licensed by the estate. I think it said Made in Spain. Yeah, it says James Dean Foundation on the back. Very unusual. I've never seen another one of those. I found out on eBay probably over 20 years ago, I think it was, that I bought him. But this one here is just phenomenal. Really looks good. Like, I think the way they did the lightweight trousers looks pretty accurate to the clothing he was wearing that day. So there you go. Thanks for checking out the video. If you like this, be sure to give me a like, share, subscribe, all good stuff. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please subscribe. It's free, and you can't beat free. And hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Be sure to watch the next video coming out. After this one, I will be going over other scales. You can, a little sneak peek teaser in the background. You can see a 164 scale Little Bastard in the background underneath the my Las Vegas sign. So that goes to show you the size difference. I'm going to lay them all out here, and we'll go over what you can purchase and what I have in my collection, etc., etc. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon. All right, take care. Bye now.